I wanted to talk about the upcoming Saturn gone Cazimi with Mercury is on the 29th. It's a time of healing our spiritual bodies, the innermost of mankind has a profound opportunity right now on all levels. For some people, it's different, and there's a profound need or call and to just recede. Pisces rules that, okay, receding into the soils. I mean, there's still possible that a few snows could happen or one big one, but it's not quite the end of winter. It's not the spring solstice, even though it's coming. This is a really, really important time. Really, of course, everybody knows about the dream time that it really is. And now the problem that we have with narcissists is that they take up our time first of all, and then they ride on our not only a need but the opportunity, of course, um, to start. I guess to start any kind of starting. I guess. Um, but this now talking about the delicacy of anything, narcissists are trampling all over it. That's the complaint we have with them, is just that the cluelessness that they are, just like toddlers running through a, a flowery garden of different kinds of wildflowers. They just, if you want your garden to be mowed down, then send a toddler through it and they'll take care of it. Take a couple days or just one, and it'll be gone, especially if you show that you like the flowers. They just don't get it. You can't really punish them or anything. They don't even remember that happened. They are so in another world about something else and whatever is going on, and hope that they grow up out of it. Just be smart enough not to unleash them on your delicacies. Um, uh, See, but that it's the same with narcissists, and I'm here to, those delicacies get worn away and washed away from being just trampled on, and that's exactly what the bodily issues are that we have. Um, if we don't get a break, they literally, the language is here. They get on your nerves, and then what else? Um, Intelligence is worn thin. Just no patience, right? Patience is worn thin, and then what else? Frizzle frazzle, Um, we need a break kind of a thing. And the thing is you don't get a break from the narcissistic society. Have you noticed? I mean, really, if you were to take a break and you think, well, now I really need to turn to get some support or help, got to got to fish around out there again in this profoundly sick society that it's just an opportunity that you are. When you you're probably already 95% there. You just need a good friend, yeah. And because you're like, oh, I see something, and boy, can we talk? And there isn't anybody to talk to, let alone, I mean, I hope that you, like me, I had to just throw in the white towel and say, I need a little support. The food, my food, I got my food situated, and that is, let alone, it's not everybody's fault all the time, not at all. Really, we have our own, God, we have our own thing, but we are kind of, we're not depending on each other, we're interdependent. I love that term. It's not independent or completely codependent. Nobody's being rendered codependent except for by the independent, right? Otherwise, there's interdependence. Get deeper into that and explain it. Come on, think with me and type it out on the comments. Yeah, see how that happens. That somebody who's under the illusion of being independent is going to cause codependency. Independent from what? Hello, check, check, 1, 2, reality check. What just happened? How many times did you see that white screen, kids? Is there a sound you can make with your mouth in English that aligns it up? Yes, 5, 4. Uh-oh. Gaslighter. We've got whole bunches of gaslighters out there. That's what gets on our nerves. It's like, okay, on top of that, you're gonna play a game. On top of it, you're gonna play a game? On top of how hard life really is. You're gonna play a game on top of playing a game. Oh, some people, babes, they don't even mean to. They're just that way, and it's like, excuse me, you don't know the level of stress that I'm experiencing right now. Yeah, and that's why that they kind of gravitate towards you. Um, it's weird because they're not that stressed out, but they're like, they are. You know, everybody has been. It's been handle stress for the past 3 or so years, really, if you haven't noticed it all your life, but past 3 or 4 years, it's supposed to happen, just topsy-turvy, pardon me, God. People going topsy-turvy, some things are meant to happen, you know, the way that the cosmos is going to keep radiating. This round of going through the Pluto, right now, the procession, you know, it's like, phew. Through this life, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to let go of it all. Did you find a good friend? If anybody, if anything, this is the most important thing, right? And I hate to be a Hallmark commercial or something cheesy. What do they call it? Anyway, but of course, you got to be your own best friend. Don't let yourself down, and don't wrong yourself. Always care. Be the one that cares more than anybody else around you, especially about you. God, that's a. Okay, now what? Turning age 9. Haven't you got that down yet? Do not be apologetic for being you. Okay, now we're moving to age 11. Did you do something amazing? Yes, because by then you're a genius and you have done something. You've got something. And you're like, God, you know, if this is what life is about, it's just me tooling about on my ability and to be able to inspire people and stay inspired. Yeah, sure. Let's see what this comes out to be. It's been tough recently, you know, the love thing in my life. I mean, I already made a video that I have to look and see what the hell did I just talk about, but it's very real, the thing I just went through, the season, which all of humanity is under the influence of Neptune, which is the medium through which all art forms and all expression is being conveyed through art forms, paint, TV, music, poetry, expressing what though? See, it's all just things that we use, and it rules that very illusory aspect of being human, um, water, you know, and everything about that, and you can't even pick it up with a fork. But it's so substantial and inside of everything and outside, and so thanks for listening to this. I just yeah, seeing some things clearly. The main thing is I'm just trying. This is really spacey, and it's got to be because we're doing Pisces planets now, and it's like, will you guys have respect for the people that have a spiritual life and they cherish being quiet in order to heal? First of all, spiritual people most likely are taking on everybody's fucking shit that they don't take on spiritually. It's definitely warfare, and I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. But you need to heal your body from. Most likely, it's from, like I was trying to say, it's from I'm hearing it now simultaneously as I'm finding it out myself. It's And it's a big, of course, but because you're being bombarded by bullshit, and you just pretty soon it gets on your nerves, and your nervous system breaks down. There's where your autoimmune deficiencies, all this stuff starts coming in. I'm telling you, I experienced the worst thing towards the end of my grandmother's life. I can see that this person is a narcissist, and now they're coming in between, and it's like, fine, you can try and consider yourself a hero, but I don't see any of this happening any better than what human beings can achieve if they just communicated. And unfortunately, that was a wash. You know, we know that we're all having a hard time by then. But wow, no. I had to go through a process of letting go. Otherwise, I would have had gotten very sick, and I did. And I got sick because what was on my mind was the whole scenario about what had turned out. Boy, it's nobody's business, but what had turned out with my grandmother, like the hands that she was in after she was taken out of my hands, which led to her just completely being cracked up and broken up, literally. Don't want to get into it because I've released it and let it go. It was a process of healing. Includes, I am definitely in connection with the spirit world. This is where you people need to at least back off. We need protection from you fucking toddlers that are just running all over. Your own opportunity to heal is coming up the next 3 days, not 3, 6. Opportunity to heal. Main thing is, and I would advise you, if you really want to experience this, learn how to communicate. Learn deeper words. Be sure you know from why am I constructing these words? Be sure that you know that nobody is listening but you. There isn't anybody out there that you're trying to convince of anything, but now listen to what you're trying to convince yourself. Listen, right? We have such an opportunity right now with the sun moving into 9, 10 Pisces, Saturn moving into 9, 10 Pisces, and Mercury moving into 9, 10 Pisces. See, Pisces is not well known. It's kind of just thrown out into fucking fairy tale land, and that's fine and everything. But after a while, we are talking about our very ability to create worlds through the imagination, which is nothing like thinking. Because the thinker is the loop-de-loop. And see, this is where, yeah, I say thinking is the enemy to imagination. And then there's something that I think Shakespeare said, imagination is the mother of all creation. And, so I'm saying we can further the conversation for narcissists. You have a healthy, either have a healthy imagination, healthy narcissist, or you have a poor, unhealthy imagination. And that's the southerly narcissist, the unhealthy narcissist. There's two kinds of people on the planet. The narcissist just means mind or your sense of self. So then, yeah, if you're not in your body yet, you're not going to be experiencing reality enough, the truth enough to start gathering into your mind, in fact, what you should know in order to start using your imagination in a healthy way. And that is what I just said there. Rewind it back and forth and listen to that. That's the order in which things are supposed to be going on. By the time you're 3.5, there's a good chance that you're kind of being jacked into that experience, away from that experience. It's kind of trippy. I'm still looking at it. I get downloads, and it's getting more and more easier to talk about. Sam Backman and all the psychologists are talking about this too now. If you want to get into child psychology and the mechanics going on there, what we mean by child psychology is just the mechanics of the mind when a child is snapping into their body and they're having to separate their entire being away, mainly from the mother, mainly from the mother. The entity still thinks that it's one with the mother. It thinks that with pretty much everything that comes up to it and cares for it. It pretty much thinks that it's that, and so that has to be separated out. It's just a natural thing that happens. It should be going on. It's called individuation, separation, and I think a lot of us are trying to achieve that for the rest of our life. Maybe sometimes, yes. Depends, really. It really depends. Boy, it's such a huge subject matter full of all kinds of coloring and shades of gray and characterizations and stories, and it's very vague, therefore, the subject matter of psychology. Pseudoscience, by the way, it's only gathered by information that was brought on about, well, people that bothered to go and let people, other people in on it, that would take statistics down. God, 250 years down, we haven't gotten very far, but we have some language going on that is so much older than 250 years. See, that's where Buddhism comes in. It says, oh, you haven't heard about the mind? Forget this character hiding in the shadows calling narcissist or whoever, and then really you wanted to talk about the real, yeah, the characters going on, coming up, Christ Jesus, the story of Jesus, and then versus Christ. What does Christ mean? It's not a last name, it's certainly not going to be the first time that name has come around. To disrupt the entire establishment, and let's put it in prison and say it was only 2,000 years ago that only happened, and we're done with that. No, we're not. The courthouse right now is a gear that has been since whenever that darn story came out, and if it happened or not, what they're pointing at the very end is the courthouses who are 100% corrupt, because everybody there is led to swear in front of that whole establishment that you can tell the truth. And the thing is the real spiritual level of living and how we live here is that no, you can't tell the truth on. You're talking about telling, mouthing it? No, no, nope, nope. You have to have an experience that is a quiet experience of the truth in reality, which involves the platonic solids, and it's such a complex thing to just going. So what's happening in court is they're asking you agree to be the living dead because you think that life can be lived on the lips. No, nope. Anybody can really look at this, and why don't we take it all? Anybody, 15 people want to go to courthouse today and crowd it up and say, no, prove to us that we can tell the truth. Really? It's an experience. And then are you really going to rely on a bunch of fucking liars? And the answer is yes. You have sworn into this lying system. Everybody here is just dead, dead. And somebody's panicking because somebody is alive there, and they go to the living dead system and they hit you over the. You promised to tell the whole truth, and nothing but truth. It's like, that's impossible. You're supposed to say impossible, and let's sit and talk about it. Take up how many fucking years in court, and make sure it's well known. This is why. No, this is simple. A 5-year-old could understand this. Thank God. Thank God there's reality. Thank God there's the silent movie. And that's what's going up all around. I've talked about it before, is all the cameras that are going up. It's because, yeah, there's a narcissistic world, and it's like, well, let's just open the one eye, right? Maybe. It's weird that I'm saying this, right? But that's what it is. Think about it. If I point my camera and then like this, and go like this, and 5 other people are right next to me and they're doing the same thing, they're going to see the same things. Why? Right? It's not going to be distorted unless they have a fucking distortion program on their darn phone. And I'm telling you, yeah, if it's Microsoft, be careful. And you get it, right? But you get it. But really, really though, can we rely on that? After a while, the answer is no. No. Phew, it's getting so foggy out there. This is where we are. If you can't catch your breath and just relax, because if you use the camera right, then when I mean the camera right, then okay, so it's the difference between like, okay, so just like the Channel 4 News, everybody has a complaint that 57 TV outlets is reporting the same exact story, word for word, about something that supposedly we should have concern. It's a major thing. I mean, how are we going to cover it up? The two buildings are blown up and stuff like that. See, that is weird. Just one story being told over 50 million channels versus. I'm sorry, I had this wrong. I'm trying to get my point across. It's such a waste of my time, really. I'm trying to tell you people, right now is a time for healing, especially for people who have been going through spiritual warfare. And if you guys are so, see, right now, most people, I'm telling you right now, it's our experience right now that most people are demonic. And when they hear that you're spiritual or they, first of all, they can see it. I mean, but anything, talk about, oh, we're going to start healing. We're having a great time now. They want to just trash it, because they're not doing that for themselves. And they do. They cause sickness. They cause illness. They cause illness and sickness in the places where, unfortunately, it gets rendered into a very, very perverted and weird version of a healing space and a place to go to heal. I figure, if you consider what has happened in music, there isn't hardly any outlet that gives us a good example, because for one, no real musician wants to expose themselves to the clueless, can't get enough fucking, we don't even care, because the seasons and the holidays we celebrate aren't even pointing at anything real. I mean, come on, what do we have? Easter coming up? Great. That again. Do we fucking even learn? Have we evolved into anything different than just going backwards and looping back into bad memory? We have to stop that. We have to stop it. Stop it. Try to tell these fucking people, can you shut up for the next 6 days? And listen for something different than what comes out of your ever-loving fear. And how that all operates. It's just the mind. Because it's people need to move forward. We want to have a good time. We can easily have a good time. I'm too alone here, and I'm surrounded by, really, like, if you want to talk about the human ecology, I never cared either way until I can't fucking help but to not notice the putrid asphalt. And it's like, that should have never fucking happened. It should have never been allowed. I know I keep bringing it up, but it's like, why does it burn me so bad? It's just, for one, nobody in their right mind would have ever done that. I'm sorry. Come on, you can look around and see it, man. And they come up with every little excuse to disprove me. And it's like, we can actually come up with a lot of stuff that I can disprove them. First of all, it's unhealthy. Why are you so adamant in knocking me back because I'm saying that maybe that's just a fuck. I'm just so sick. See, that's the thing. I didn't want to do it, but that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that the reason why that there's disease, and then thank God the illusion of death, is because of the presence of this the side of the organism that finds it necessary. It has to get um, um, God has a way of cleaning, and this place, we don't know, like, beyond it. It could be that after you become a human, you get a soul and you go and traverse the universe. There's not just that you're just go to Disneyland and you get to have fun in other galaxies like a fucking idiot. No, you have learned to become a creator of creation. You're something that governs something even larger, better. At least you have become a better presence not only on a plane, on a place, in a place that calls for your participation, I guess. See, that's the thing, is from one household to the next is what you can see now is just this weird occupation where nobody is present with each other here. It's there isn't a rhyme or reason, you're just in your bubble. And I'm not saying to get in each other's hair, but really it's like, well, where is the strength then in numbers? What's going on there? Really, don't ask that. Because if it's money ran, and most of it is, well, first of all, there isn't any strength. It's all fragmented. What one person is doing as far as their belief in life, path, it's fascinating. It's like, good. I'm glad it's almost totally fucking nodulized or modulized, or what do you mean, like bubble? Like they have in the Matrix. It's like from one to the next, it's just you're hallucinating that you're not in this massive fucking grid. Cool. I'm not interested at all. Not at all. Some people aren't. Hi, Jesus. I knew.